Hey everybody, it's me, Ivy. So today, I'm exhausted. I had my event last Thursday. It was very nice. I did a lot of cooking. Oh my gosh, between the shrimp cocktail was okay. I mean, I didn't cook that. The meatballs, the deviled eggs, the chicken, the ham, the um, all the desserts, the wine, everything. It was a lot. The tortellini, the rice. There's a little bit of everything. I am Southern, so I like to make sure that people have more than enough to eat. It's just who I am. But anyway, we got a lot going on in this world. Oh my God, we have so many things going on. Between the coronavirus, which you hear about like every 5 minutes because it is a pandemic. Please look at the video called the Spanish slash um, swine flu of 1918. And the reason I say that is because your leaders, who we pick as leaders, is the most extremely important thing in the world. When you think you're just getting a leader, if you have someone who doesn't have a clue, they don't know how to handle people, they don't know, it's very important. But hey, I live in Yonkers, so they don't elect, they select, and if you're not a part of the little cluster. But that cluster is kind of small with the right kind of strategy. Yeah. But anyway, that's going on. It'll all come to a head eventually. But in the meantime, between the coronavirus and the election between Joe Biden and Bernie, it's just really a lot going on. A lot of it is kind of like distracting. We also have an election going on here where I live here in the city of Yonkers, where, they have a set of their own issues. Sadly enough, the people that they have, again, people up in age, they don't want to let go of anything. And so when you have ward leaders and district leaders, here the district leaders really think that they have something. And I feel so sorry for them because they don't get anything. They just get used and abused. Nobody ever talks to them after they use them to go around and knock on doors to get signatures. The poor things. They don't have anything. They think that they're getting a discount when they can come to a breakfast of runny eggs and, you know, barely cooked greasy bacon for $99. It is just very sad. And the people actually think that they got something special going on. Those people couldn't care if you lived or died after this whole thing was over. But they tell you who you should vote for, who you should sign for. They got people actually thinking that they go through the signature list. Like if you have a pile of signatures, that they actually think that they have someone who's going to search through certain people's names. Now, if you know 1,000 people, you think they're actually going to search through 1,000 people's names to see if your name is on there. They have these poor people so hoodwinked and bamboozled. I don't know what it's like. I've lived in a lot of places, but I've never wanted to be a politician. For one reason, because I just never did. I'm too truthful, too honest, too straightforward. And if you're speaking the truth, they don't want to hear that crap. It's like, look, we're laughing all the way to the bank. We couldn't care less about certain people as long as our generation, next generation is going to be okay. And then they come up with the coronavirus and all these other diseases, and we have a pandemic. And, I always say there's something we learned in liberation theology also that I can't hurt you without hurting myself. So no matter what the government tries to do, whether it's putting guns, dropping off duffel bags of guns in areas where they know young black men travel, on a day-to-day basis, or if they're trying to tell you that, AIDS came from the monkeys in Africa and it's the African people. When their big icon, Rock Hudson, was the one who ended up, dying from AIDS and a whole bunch of other folks. They had to change that tune. And then you have crack cocaine that, clearly came backlash. We had heroin back in the day, I think the 60s and the 70s, when a lot of people of color, let me just say black people, were dying of heroin, Native Black American people. Nobody really cared. Now all of a sudden it's back. Decades later, it all comes back. I don't know like why people think that it's not. Where so many young white children are ODing on this stuff, and now all of a sudden it's an epidemic, and they got to do something about it. It's just very sad because none of this ever should have happened. And even with this coronavirus and the way that people are treated here in this city that I live in, I run for office because I always think, even if this city was the last northern city to integrate its schools and housing, which has done a very piss poor job of that, I always try to hope that somehow that there was some redeeming qualities. At least I thought there would be redeeming qualities. But when you're dealing with people, descendants of Neanderthals and things like that, you're probably not going to get that. Very mean, very aggressive, and then you have other folks that come from other places that feel the same way. People like to bogart and come over to America. And it's funny about the coronavirus. The sad thing is that a lot of people in hiding, a lot of people have traveled to other countries lately, and they're not going to tell you that. So yeah, there's going to be thousands of people, just like that. The Spanish flu, the swine flu that started in Spain in 1918, it took out millions of people, not thousands, millions of people, and they infected. So it's like my daughter said, it kind of reminds her of 9/11 when she was walking and this guy had a restaurant down in Manhattan and was just saying, come in and eat, come in and eat, you don't even have to pay. And it's very sad because America, though it's about money, God don't like ugly. And what goes around comes around. And there are going to be times when you might try to hurt a certain people, but the truth is that you will hurt yourself. So financially, even though the stock market has been on a seesaw, just like the weather, everything is on this. Ooh, it's like the ship I was on when we cruised to Bermuda and we almost capsized. It was unbelievable. I mean, you just have to make peace with yourself and know that you did the right thing. Now, some people say, well, I'm going to trust in the Lord and know that, I'm going to be okay. And this is good. But you also got to remember the devil's here too. The devil's here powerfully strong. I mean, you're not going to, the people that you're dealing with, especially in leadership positions, they're mean. They're vicious. Okay. They have sold their souls to the devil. Trust me, they have. And in that instance, they may be able to survive a little bit longer, but the devil's a liar and a conjurer too. He can also trick you. The devil is, as one of the politicians said, he's very calculating. He can get people to read he can get people to do whatever he wants them to do because he can control their minds. This is the kind of demonic kind of spirit that we're dealing with here. And it's very sad because a lot of people believe this stuff. They believe that because you are in a leadership position, you should believe. I mean, when we look at the president of the United States, it's like, oh, this coronavirus came out of nowhere. When you think about what you do on a cruise ship, you got to have people who know how to handle emergency situations. You need people who can know how to motivate people, how to encourage people, how to keep people from getting sick and panicking. And you just have to be honest. I mean, the truth is that it could be anywhere. And I guarantee you, Yonkers got it, but there are people that just not saying it. People didn't want to tell you when they had a venereal disease. People who had AIDS didn't even want nobody to know that they had AIDS because they would be ostracized. So people aren't going to tell you what's wrong with them. And people are not going to cover their faces. They're not going to all of a sudden, they've been sneezing all their lives, not covering their mouths, going to the bathroom, not washing their hands. Now, all of a sudden, now that the coronavirus is around, they're going to change their ways. I don't think so. I don't think so at all. And in fact, there are some people who want to die and they really don't care about anybody else. And then there are other people who want to live forever, whether they're good or not. So all I can say is use your sanitizer. If you don't know this by now, then you're nuts, okay? Use your sanitizers, drink water every 15 minutes, to keep that stuff going down. Use your alcohol spray and, take whatever you think that'll help you, get better. I mean, personally, I'm staying in as much as possible. And whatever events are going on, I won't be going. So I don't want to be around anybody because I don't know what's going on. I did go to breakfast today, and it wasn't all that terrific, but someone treated, and that was kind. So that's about it. So I'll be home, and I'll be having some meetings over at my place, serving people who are that I know are not sick, or at least I believe is not sick, and because it incubates, you never know who's really sick. But I'll be doing that, making my own dinners and eating my own food. All right. So listen, you guys, take care of yourself, and listen. Don't believe any. Believe nothing of what you hear on the news, and only half of what you see, because people aren't being honest. Even with the kits that they say we don't have enough testing kits, and then somebody else says we have plenty of them. They just haven't been asked for. You don't know what to believe. These people are all over the place. So if I were you, I would just take precaution. We have several cases here in Westchester County, and people contaminate. So just be careful. They are on the trains, they're on the buses, they're on the Metro North, they're in the restaurants, they're in the schools, and then they're your place of work. So don't think that they don't have it, because there's somebody walking around with corona somewhere. People that have money travel. That's just all there is to it. And people who don't have money travel, because we have a lot of people here who don't even speak English, and they come from someplace else. So yes, we have Italians here. We have Latinos, Hispanics, whatever, South Americans here. We have people from a lot of places, Israel. So yeah, China, Japan, Korea, and don't think that those people haven't gone home at least some point in time. And even if they haven't, I'm sure that there's a family member who have. But I guess folks will still eat Chinese food. I personally will not, and I have nothing against. But the truth is, I've never really seen a Chinese person in a soul food restaurant. But that's just me. Maybe other eyes have, but I haven't seen it. And I'm pretty observant. I even observe to see how many people who look like me are working in a place. So I am always awake, looking to see what's going on. Anyway, I love you guys. Please take care of yourself. Please be cautious. Take your Zicam if you have it. Take your for your zinc. It can really help, and also take your airborne. Okay. All right, guys, I'm done. I hope that we all live through this. I hope this isn't the way where most of us are going to go out. So just keep yourself safe, okay? Drink that water every 15 minutes. Let that rush down. They said if you drink the water, it washes down anything. By the way, one last thing. So I have a lot of nose hair. I have a lot of hair, period. But I have a lot of nose hair. Don't shave your nose hairs. You don't have to have it coming out in a bushel either. But those nose hairs are there for a reason. They actually protect the lungs. So just be careful, and take care of yourselves. All right, guys. All right, I'll talk to you later. I feel like putting no music on today. I got a lot of things going on. Got a lot of decisions to make. This coronavirus is really putting a damper on a lot of things. Well, I'm just hoping that we all live through it. And I love you all very much. If there's anything I could do for you guys, just Skype me or call me, okay? And if you're sick, I'm just teasing. I love you all. Talk to you later. Bye now.